Yo, this is Randall Musashi, and I'm coming at you from my channel, Samurai Lifestyle. I'm a martial artist and a divorcee. I was married for 5 years, fell in love with a beautiful woman, and after that, well, we got a divorce. And then I found out about a year later she actually had my kid and got put on child support. And been paying a lot of money ever since. And I'm still not fully convinced of Mgtow. But at the same time, I'm nowhere near being a blue pillar, let me tell you that. I'm also a paralegal as well. So that's a little bit about my background. So the pros and cons of Mgtow. Well, Mgtow is the male equivalent of feminism, but for men. It's men who have been burned in relationships. They've been out there in the dating world. They learned about all the big hoop earring, tattooed girls with red hair, single mothers, girls with daddy issues, all those things. Child support, alimony, false rape accusations. 95% of these Mgtow videos, I mean, they're pretty much saying the truth in my mind. But the same goes for feminism. Women got tired of being treated like, blow up sex dolls. Hey, cook my food and have sex with me, and then the men get drunk and take out their frustrations and slap around their wives for no reason. And then women, weren't allowed to have a voice and vote. And they were basically just treated like, chattel. And women got sick of it. They wanted to have a little bit more of a voice. And I get that. And, the Mgtow guys, they can talk shit about women all they want, but what if you had a daughter? Or what about your sister? Or what about your mother? Do you want to see them, just get slapped around and abused by some guy and treated like dirt? Or what kind of man do you want them to be with? You got to ask yourself that. If you're a Mgtow guy and you accidentally got a girl pregnant and had a daughter, what kind of man would you want your daughter to be with if she got with one? You want her to be with a guy who is successful and strong and respectful and appreciative and all those things. But I can say the same thing to the feminist. If you had a son, what kind of woman would you want him to be with? A woman who is clean and respectful and trustworthy. I mean, so the feminists and the Mgtow people, they both make some good arguments. And for a while, I was going through the red pill rage where I was like, I hate women, especially after what I went through. But after a series of a lot of bad dates and just dealing with a lot of crazy women, I've been dating someone off and on, and for the most part, she's pretty cool. She definitely has her red flags, but, I'm enjoying it. So, I don't think I'm going to marry her or anything. I mean, I can't say for sure, but, I do enjoy the company of a woman who doesn't nag. She's physically attractive, and we have good conversations. Like, that's cool with me. Like, I love it. But once you move in with a woman or you get married to her, it's a whole different ball game, and especially once you have kids with her. Once you get a woman pregnant, her body will change, and she'll be less interested in sex. I mean, I know from experience. I mean, so, and if you're not happy and you try to divorce her, you're going to be paying the hell out of some alimony, and you're going to lose your house. You're going to lose everything. I mean, so, but being completely single, going so-called monk mode, that's a pretty depressing life too. You have romance and having a deeper connection. Like, having that connection with another human being on a sexual and romantic level, there's nothing like it. And if you don't have that, there's going to be a sense of longing. I mean, even these real monks, like these Buddhist monks and these Catholic priests, they end up, molesting and raping people because their sexual tension gets so high. So it's natural. It's in your DNA, it's in your biology as a man to be a strong protector and provider. And it's in a woman's DNA to be a nurturer and caregiver. Like, there was this girl that I was dating. She was a real sweet girl, super educated, had multiple college degrees, working as a nurse, making great money. She got ran through guys left and right. Every 2 or 3 months, she had a new boyfriend that was banging her out. So she goes to a club, and meets this guy and has like a one-night stand and gets pregnant, and come to find out this guy's like, the CEO of a company that he inherited from his father. And guess what? She quit that nursing career and became a stay-at-home wife and mother. And she's on Instagram all the time taking pictures of herself and of her kid. And she's all about that life. Suddenly she dropped all of her, all of her feminist bullshit. Like, I'm a strong, independent woman and I can do this and this. Given the option, 90% of women will drop their careers and raise their children. And that's just it. A lot of these raging feminists are just women who couldn't find a man who was able to, make them submit and make them be the woman that they're biologically meant to be. And a lot of these Mgtow guys are guys that got burned in a divorce, or they had a lot of dating experience with crazy women, and they just said to hell with this shit, But secretly, deep down inside, every Mgtow guy wants the so-called Nawalt. Not all women are like that. They want the unicorn, and the unicorns do exist. They are out there. The woman who is she's a virgin, or maybe she's only slept with like maybe one other guy her whole life, and she works hard and she's educated. She doesn't drink or smoke and go into bars, and she has her mind and her body together, and she respects men. She doesn't, she doesn't complain. She doesn't nag, and she keeps that effort up. The unicorns do exist, but the problem is, how long can they keep it up? You might meet a Nawalt or a unicorn, and then, 10 years into the marriage, they have a crisis. And they're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm so bored. And then they start riding the cock carousel, as people say. And the whole thing implodes and blows up in your face. I've seen it happen so many times. To me, if you're a man or a woman and you're looking to get married, I think the number one thing you should look at is their parents' relationship. So if you're a woman and you're dating a guy and he says, oh yeah, my parents are divorced, and ask them, oh, what age? If they got divorced at a very early age, huge red flag for both genders. Huge red flag. If they got divorced whenever he was 15 or 16, still not good, but it's a little bit better. At least they both have experience with seeing the other gender, the gender roles, kind of interacting together, and they both sort of know what a family unit looks like. But if you're dating a girl and she says, oh yeah, my parents have been married for 35 years, they're still together, and then you look on their Facebook page and they have all these happy pictures together and things are still great, they have a good example to base off of what a healthy relationship looks like, and that's huge. That's huge. If the girl says that, you know, if she comes from a good family, her parents been together, married 35, 40 years. Look at her siblings, too, you know. Is her brother a fuck up, you know? Does he have, like, 3 baby mamas? Or her sister, you know, is her sister a blue-haired feminist? Like, look at the whole family. Because if the whole family is fucked up, but then the person that you're dating is like, oh, you know, I'm not like the rest of my family. Could be true, but more often than not, they're just hiding what their true self is like. You know, birds of a feather flock together, and especially if they grow up in it. Matter of fact, there was a girl that I've been dating. Man, she's so beautiful. She doesn't nag. I mean, did I mention that she's beautiful? She's super sexy. But her family is fucked. Her dad is always cheating on her mom. She's got daddy issues. Her cousin, who is her best friend, pretty much they hang out and talk all the time. Her cousin has 3 baby daddies. Her brother has 3 baby mamas. Her sister got impregnated by a married guy. I mean, the whole family is just drama, 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 drama. But she's putting on her best behavior and she's saying, oh, you know, but I'm not like the rest of them. And then she mentions that she was a sorority girl. This situation is getting worse and worse. Am I right? Am I right? You know, so look at their family backgrounds. Do they have a criminal record? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, if you're a man or a woman and you really want to get married, like, vet this person. Vet this person, please. My ex-wife, I should have listened, man. I should have listened to what she was telling me. Oftentimes, they're telling us in plain sight. She said that her mother used to abuse her, and her father was abusive, and he abandoned the family whenever, you know, she was like 3 or 4 or something like that. And then her brother tried to molest her. But, you know, me, I have this rescuing mentality. I love to rescue women, you know. If a woman's in trouble and her life is in chaos and she looks to me for guidance, that shit is such a turn on. It's such a turn on, but it's also so very toxic. If a woman is asking you, and she may not even ask you verbally, but, you know, women know that it's in a man's DNA, it's in his nature to want to rescue women. It's in his very nature to want to rescue women. So if a woman has a lot of drama, a lot of problems in her life, and she's very physically attractive on top of it, your instincts, your DNA is going to be flashing saying, save her, save her, save her. And it's going to be cool at first, but then once you fix her life, and once her life, you know, is perfect and everything, then you're going to feel bored. You're going to say, oh, wait, I fixed everything. Everything's fixed. Oh, now I have to look at her for who she actually is. I'm not really interested in her anymore. And then you're not satisfied. So you have to find a woman or man that you enjoy being with when you're not rescuing or helping them. Because if you're a rescuer, then you get pleasure out of fixing their problems. And then whenever there's no problem to be fixed, problems get created to bring back that dynamic in the relationship. So you've got to find someone who has some things going for them besides their titties, besides their big muscles and their fuckboy haircut like I have. You've got to find somebody who's got more going on for them than just, you know, their body. Like, if you meet a girl and her best qualities are she's sexy and she doesn't nag. Okay, so you're very good looking and you're not a bitch. That's like the standard for most men. And that shows you how fucked up the dating game is. is that the standards for men is she's not a bitch and she's sexy. I'm going to marry her. And then women, their standards are, he's got to have a house. He's got to have a car. He's got to be 6 feet tall. He's got to be this. And if a woman has low standards, if you're some 5'2", neck beard, ugly guy with a horrible job making like $3 an hour, and this beautiful girl is talking to you and she's interested in you, that's a red flag, because you know yourself better than anybody. If you're a loser, you know that you're a loser. And it's okay if you're a loser. In some ways, I'm a loser, but, it's up to you if you want to fix it. And some women see the potential. They're like, he's a loser right now, but I see him going to school. I see him, working on this business. And that's attractive to women. They look at your potential. But if you're just a straight up loser with no ambition, and this hot girl is all over you, if she's a foreigner, then she wants a green card, or she might just be looking for a place to stay. So you have to ask yourself too, why is this person interested in me? I have nothing to offer. Why is she interested in me? You've got to ask yourself all of these questions. But bottom line, marriage is a good thing if it's with a good person. But the problem is, good can turn to bad really quick. So what the fuck do we do? Well, here's what you do. If you're a man, you get as physically strong as you can. Get that testosterone pumping. Make as much money as you can. And at that point, when you got all your ducks in a row, you go to Korea, go to the Philippines, go to China, go to a place where feminism hasn't totally dominated the culture. And you move to them. You move to their countries. Don't bring them to the United States. And if you do bring them to the United States, bring them to a small town. Not a cosmopolitan city, but a small town. And, you keep them isolated from all the bullshit. All the Western feminist bullshit. And you just sit back and chill. She cooks for you. She has sex with you. You treat her with respect. You don't smack her around. You don't get drunk. You don't, name call her. You treat her with respect. And you enjoy your retirement. If you're a man, don't get married and settle down until, you're at least 40. By that time, your testosterone is declining. You're not really interested in being wild anymore. And, it feels good to settle down. But if you're 35 or below, dude, you need to go travel. You need to have lots of casual sex. You need to find out what kind of career that you want. You need to develop yourself as a man, because men are not born, they're made. Unlike women. Women are born with breasts. And, as long as they have that, they're good. So I hope this video has been informative. If you have any questions, hit me up.